Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of proper trigger press. First things first, let's just make sure we're safe. Safety first. Make sure there's nothing in chamber, or that there's no ammunition here or anything like that. Any rounds, just double check. So again, there you go. All right, great. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of proper trigger press. So when you're pulling a trigger, and of course I have this facing in a safe direction. When you're pulling it, and we already checked to make sure that we're safe, but that's just personal habit, and also you want to make that, one of your habits is safety. When you're pulling the trigger, you want to make sure you kind of get the meat of your finger pads. So that meat right there. You don't want to pull the trigger with just the corner, because then you can kind of like pull your gun another way. Also, you don't want to knuckle the trigger, so you don't want to get that kind of like that first knuckle, and because what happens, it'll pull it to the right. So you see, you'll pull it, to the left, to your left, your left. You'll notice that when it's down to the left, it's usually a trigger discipline issue. Either you kind of put your little top finger on it, point of the finger, or the knuckle of the finger, but you want to kind of get the meat of the finger. I have big hands. This is a relatively smaller gun compared to my hand size. It's sometimes I even get myself get in trouble with the knuckling part, but you got to get that trigger discipline. Another thing you wanna make sure with the trigger press, you wanna make sure you're pulling the trigger nice and slow. So, you put your finger on the trigger, you're pulling it back slow, so it could be basically a surprise. You don't want to know when the shot is coming. You want it to be a surprise. You pull, you hit the wall. There's a little bit of take up. Then you hit the wall. Then it goes off. So it's a surprise. The reason you want that is you don't want to anticipate your shots, because what happens is when you anticipate your shots, that makes you pull the gun. It can make you like get ready to anticipate your shot, and you pulling, you pull it to the right, pull it to the left, or pull it down, up, based on where you feel like the recoil is gonna go. So that's why you want to make sure you have a slow trigger press. Slow trigger press. Very, very slow. Let me show you again. Very slow, or as slow as you possibly can. I know if you're in a self-defense situation, it's not going to be as slow as you want it to be, but there it is. And then another important thing about trigger press, so that you're efficient. We are all about efficiency here. Let me just pull it there. You want to make sure that you keep your finger on the trigger until the trigger resets. So you keep it on the trigger, then it resets, then you could go again. Now you pull slowly again, bang. Then pull it again. You let the trigger reset, then pull it again, bang. But those are just basically the disciplines of trigger press. You want to make sure you get like the meat of your finger pads. It's not going to be perfect, as close as you can. You just don't want to knuckle it. You don't want to use a little tip of your finger, kind of right in the center, somewhere in between. You want to make sure you pull your trigger very, very slow, very, very slow. Reset, but very, 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 very slow. So this way you don't anticipate. Maybe make you more accurate of a shooter. And then, of course, you want to keep your finger on the trigger till the reset, until you hear the audible reset. This gun has a pretty good audible reset. And then you can fire away again. That's just efficiency. But those are the basics of trigger press that I can really give you. A lot of your shots that you're missing, it's not necessarily due to your grip. It's essentially due to your poor trigger discipline. And I hope that helps. Enjoy your firearm responsibly.